Today we delve into the captivating story of a rifle shrouded in mystery and unrealized potential. Get ready for an epic adventure as we uncover the secrets behind the legendary G11, from its groundbreaking design to its untapped power. Join me as we explore their untold history, the revolutionary features, and the virtual world's fascination with this enigmatic weapon. Let's dive into the wild backstory of this weapon's creation, my friend. Picture this. It all began in the groovy late 1960s when Heckler & Koch, a badass German company, took on a super cool mission. The government of the Federal Republic of Germany wanted to upgrade their trusty 7.62mm G3 rifles to something even more epic. They needed a rifle that was lighter, deadlier, and as accurate as a sharpshooting wizard. So after some top-secret negotiations, they decided on a mind-blowing concept. They wanted a rifle that could make multiple bullets rain on the enemy like a fireworks display. And to achieve that, they thought, hey, why not ditch the boring cartridge cases altogether? That's right, they wanted a rifle that fired magical caseless rounds. Heckler & Koch teamed up with Dynamit Nobel, a company responsible for creating the mind-boggling caseless ammunition. Together, they embarked on an adventure to create their ultimate weapon. But wait, hold on to your hats, my friends, because the fun doesn't end there. Turns out Heckler & Koch wasn't the only party trying to crack the caseless code. Another company called Vollmer Maschinenfabrik was in on the action too. In the early 1980s, they cooked up some mind-blowingly unique assault rifle prototypes that were out of this world. But alas, their creations never made it to the big leagues of mass production. Talk about missing out on a potential weapons revolution. So there you have it, my friends, the G11 rifle, born from a wild mix of cutting-edge technology, secret negotiations, and some serious competition. Similar developments were also taking place in the United States in the 1980s, led by the AAI Corporation during the early stages of the Advanced Combat Rifle program. And guess what? The fun didn't stop there. Our friends in France, the GIAT conglomerate, joined the party too. It was like a global dance-off of weapon innovation. Now imagine this, using such magical ammunition would not only simplify the weapon's design, but also boost its reliability and increase the amount of firepower you could carry. And here's the icing on the cake. Theoretically, these rounds were supposed to be cheaper than the classic cartridge ones. Who doesn't love a good deal, right? Contracts for these exciting developments were linked by the German Ministry of Defense in 1969. By 1970, they had already laid down the requirements for the new rifle. Brace yourself for these specifications. The weapons should weigh no more than 4.5 kilograms, measure up to 765mm in length, boast a 50-round magazine, and hit the bullseye at a distance of up to 300 meters with the first shot. Talk about setting the bar high. In 1974, the first prototype of this marvelous rifle was unveiled, sending shockwaves of excitement through the firearms community. But hold your horses, my friend, because the real magic happened 20 years later. It was in that moment, in the year of 1994, that Heckler & Koch proudly introduced the world to the one and only G11, the very first caseless rifle ever created. Just imagine the years of anticipation, innovation, and relentless dedication that went into bringing this groundbreaking weapon to life. It's like witnessing the birth of a shooting star, illuminating the path to the future filled with awe-inspiring firearms. Now let's dig into the juicy details of these caseless cartridges and how they worked, because let's be honest, that's where the real fun begins. The first versions of these bad boys, designed for regular use, were created by the brilliant minds at Dynamit Nobel A and measured a groovy 4.73 by 33mm. But wait, it gets even more interesting. Picture this. The prototype ammo for the Heckler & Koch G11 had a powder charge shaped like a square, coated with waterproof lacquer. And get this, the primer was located at the base of the cartridge and embedded in the powder charge, while the bullet was nestled snugly on top. It's like a little explosive sandwich of awesomeness. But that's not all, folks. They didn't stop there. Oh no, they took it up a notch. They developed an upgraded version of the cartridge for the Heckler & Koch G11, where the bullet and powder charge were fully encapsulated along with the primer. It was like a high-tech bullet bundle of joy, sealed and ready for action. Now let's talk about the perks of these mind-blowing caseless cartridges. First off, they required way less metal to produce. You see, in a regular cartridge, you have the bullet itself, which is justified because it's the one that's gonna hit the target. But those pesky brass casings usually just go flying out of the ejection port, littering the battlefield. But in these newfangled caseless wonders, you needed way less metal. It's like a metal-saving superhero. And here's the kicker. Remember how I mentioned those hot brass casings flying around? Well, in our caseless wonderland, they simply cease to exist. Poof! Gone! You see, the bullet itself is sealed within the powder and then ignited. The powder transforms into hot gases that propel the bullet out of the barrel. No more worries about burning your precious neck with those scorching casings. It's freedom in its purest form. So my friends, these magical caseless cartridges not only saved metal, but also gave you the freedom to unleash fire with both hands without a care in the world. No more pesky flying brass to rain on your parade. It's a shooter's dream come true. Oh, the wonders of firearm innovation. Let's keep the party going and the bullets flying with none of those pesky casings to cramp our style. Now, let's find out how the G11 worked on the inside and who and when it was used. The G11 rifle was designed in a bullpup configuration. The rifle weighs 3.6 kilograms without the magazine and 4.3 kilograms with a full loadout. It measured almost a meter in length, to be precise 7.5 centimeters. It boasts a rate of fire of 600 rounds per minute in automatic mode and a whopping 2,000 rounds per minute in 3-round burst mode. The bullet had an initial velocity of around 1 kilometer per second and its effective range reached approximately 400 meters. So essentially, we're talking about a seriously powerful rifle with an impressive range. The body of the G11, housing all of the mechanisms, was initially made of metal with reinforcing ribs, while later versions featured a plastic construction. The trigger mechanism allowed for single shots, continuous bursts, and bursts of 3 rounds, as well as fully automatic fire. The fire mode selector and safety switch were of the flag type and were located on both sides of the weapon. As for its usage, the G11 was primarily developed and used by the German armed forces. It was intended to replace the older G3 rifles, but unfortunately, it did not see widespread adoption due to various factors, including changing requirements and the end of the Cold War. However, its innovative design and advanced features left a lasting impact on firearm development. The G11, with its sleek bullpup design, high rate of fire and impressive range, truly stood out as a remarkable rifle of its time. It was a testament to cutting-edge engineering and a symbol of innovation in the world of firearms. Let's salute the G11 for its boldness and creativity. The barrel itself features an onboard magazine with a capacity of 45 rounds, and these rounds are positioned with the bullets facing downward in the magazine located above the barrel. In the G11, before firing, the cartridge is vertically fed downwards. Due to the absence of casing, there is no need for extraction, simply the weapon's mechanics. In the event of a malfunction, the faulty cartridge is expelled downward when the next round is fed. The rifle's automatic mechanism is cocked using a special rotating handle located on the left side of the weapon. As for the rifle's action, it operates using the energy of the powder gases expelled from the barrel. This rifle is equipped with a detachable 1x magnification optical sight with a circular reticle mounted in the carrying handle. What's most interesting is that the rifle itself has a mount for 2 spare magazines. Now, here's where it gets amusing. In terms of adoption and usage of this rifle, a funny situation arises. In 1990, Heckler & Koch announced their readiness to begin production of the rifle starting from 1992. However, after delivering a limited batch of 1,000 G11 rifles for deployment, the program was shut down due to financial problems faced by the authorities of the unified Germany and the incompatibility of the new cartridges with NATO's ammunition standardization requirements. So even though the rifle exists in several thousand units, it has never been officially used by anyone. It's like having a fantastic piece of weaponry that's just itching to be unleashed but remains forever untouched. Oh, the irony of it all. But even though in reality this rifle didn't receive the attention it deserved from various countries, the G11 gained tremendous popularity in a bunch of different games. For example, in the beloved game Counter-Strike, well, there's a catch. It's not the same Counter-Strike we're familiar with. To be precise, the game is called Counter-Strike Online, which remains popular in China to this day. It's difficult to judge how closely it resembles reality since the graphics are still stuck in 2005. However, we can look at the characteristics. In the game, the G11 has a magazine with 50 rounds, whereas in reality, the G11 magazines held only 45 rounds. The G11 also had full auto capability in reality, which matches the characteristics in Counter-Strike Online, including the burst mode of 3 rounds. So, it seems the developers of this game didn't pay much attention to the authenticity of the weapon. On the other hand, in the game Crossfire, the situation is slightly better. The G11 rifle is also featured in the game, and finally, the number of rounds matches reality. It also has full auto and burst fire modes. The rate of fire also aligns with reality. Even though both of these games were developed in China, it seems that Crossfire paid more attention to detail and did a better job overall. So, while the G11 may not have received its due recognition in the real world, it found its spotlight and fame in the gaming realm. It's fascinating to see how video games can sometimes take liberties with the accuracy of real-life weapons. Whether they match reality or not, they continue to bring joy and excitement to players worldwide.